This video is all about why people get stuck in 140s and how can you avoid being stuck in 140s and learn things in a proper way so that the next time you're revising, your revision gets faster and you will forget less. Let's begin. For example, today I'm reading endocrinology. How do I understand endocrinology properly? This is the whole story of understanding. The strategy is until now, whatever I told you is what I've done for my FMGE, and in my first attempt, I got 182 out of 300. So the first thing, why do people get stuck in 140s? So being stuck in 140s has many reasons. The first reason being inadequate preparation, which is most common thing. The second one being despite having a good amount of preparation, people start getting palpitations and panic attacks the moment they're about to click the option in the exam. And the third thing being emotionally disturbed. And the fourth thing being nothing. Okay, so don't invent something. How do you deal with proper preparation? And how do you deal with revision? And how do you deal with grand tests? Guys, let me tell you one thing. We all know this proverb which says practice makes one perfect. Of course, it is true. But you know what? You need to practice what you understand. So, whatever resource that you're taking, do you understand whatever you're learning? Does it make any sense? So it's all about whenever you're learning something or whenever you're taking some knowledge, some input, you need to have the head, the body, and the tail. You need to understand what exactly is happening. Let's say, I'm giving you an example. Euthyroid means TSH, T3, T4 are normal. But hyperthyroid means you need to understand. In hyperthyroidism, we have many conditions that can cause hyperthyroidism. Let's take primary and secondary. In primary, we have T3, T4 elevated, TSH being normal. And in secondary, TSH, T3, T4, everything, boom. All these three things are elevated. So, what exactly is the proper way of learning? Because we need to learn and we need to practice by doing grand tests, but we can only practice and do something if we understand the concept properly. So, that's the issue. So, first we need to understand and then we need to practice. So, how do we understand? Let's say, for example, today I'm reading endocrinology. How do I understand endocrinology properly? You know what? God is great. He has given us a blueprint of his own creation. And what is that blueprint? The blueprint of God's creation is physiology. So what I usually do is I take physiology and I put it as the reference point. And whenever I'm learning pathology, what I do is I start comparing between physiology and pathology. I compare both of them and then write my personal notes. Like in physiology, euthyroid means TSH, T3, T4 is normal. Whereas in primary hyperthyroidism, T3, T4 are elevated, TSH is normal. So I start making notes in such a way that in comparison manner. So the moment I started comparing the normal versus the abnormal, then I get an understanding of what exactly is happening. So once you know the problem, once you know what is normal and abnormal, and now you start to fix it. So once you know the physiology, the pathology, what is going wrong in pathology, and how is it presenting itself, signs and symptoms and all those things, you need to fix it. But to fix something, you need to investigate the problem properly. So you are using the investigations and all those methods, all the labs and everything. And after that, you will interpret all those investigations, and then accordingly, you will either use your knowledge of pharmacology to treat it, or you will use your knowledge of surgery to treat it. I'm talking in terms of the exam. Okay. So, this is the whole story of understanding. First of all, you're learning something, compare it, what it was and what it is now, and how can you fix it. That's it. So, once you have this sort of understanding towards every topic that you are going to read, you will learn things better and your revision will get even more better and you will forget less. It's all about getting a proper understanding of the topic. It's not how many hours you studied, it's not about what kind of resources you're using. We have great number of resources out there, but what is the point if you're not understanding what you're taking? You're not making the proper use of it. So in the end, guys, don't take too many resources and cram all of those things at once. Whatever you have, do it perfectly, do that small things perfectly. That's more than sufficient, because the more number of resources you get infobesity, too much amount of information, and you try to cram everything, and in the end it's too much of overload for your brain to comprehend. But once you understand certain thing, like let's say I take something, let's say I take this remote, I throw it up in the air, it falls down. Why? Because of gravity. I need not read Newton's law daily for that thing. So it's all about understanding. Until now, whatever I told you is what I've done for my FMGE, and in my first attempt, I got 182 out of 300. The strategy is you need to know what are the high yield and the most important topics. And now, after knowing those topics, you need to use your understanding to know what is the head, the body, and the tail of the concept. And once you understand it, you need to practice it by doing grand tests, things like that. But you know what? If you get a less score in your grand tests, don't worry. You know what? When I was writing my grand test in my coaching center, I always used to be in the first or in the second place, but from the last. But still, I got 182 out of 300 in my first attempt. So scores and their results during coaching center doesn't matter. You know, in Telugu there is a famous dialogue which says that class లో ఎవడైనా ఆన్సర్ చెప్తాడు బట్ ఎగ్జామ్ లో రాసేవాడే టాపర్ అవుతాడు. Have a nice day, guys. See you soon. If this video has helped you, consider subscribing to my channel. And if you want to connect with me, the link to my Instagram is below. DM if you have any queries. So have a nice day. See you soon. Bye.